Let's get our garden on. Good morning, micro followers. I love this question so much because it reminds me of when I first got started with a garden, because the place that I was living at the time, we started out as Gray Eagle Schoolhouse, and the property was very clay rich and it held a lot of water. Therefore, we inevitably had mold and fungus growing everywhere, and I had no choice but to start out with either raised bed or container gardening. So I'm going to share with you guys a couple life-changing tips that helped me along the way. So when you think about a raised garden bed, you think about your, fairly traditional 3 foot by 4 foot with the 2x4s, pretty little square that you fill up with your soil, and you have this beautifully laid out garden. But we all know that's not really how it works, at least not at first. The problem with raised beds is they can get really expensive to fill. They'll tell you to put logs in there and compost and paper and all sorts of cardboard and stuff like that. Even so, speaking from experience, it's still pretty costly to fill. You can get raised bed soil for about $8 a bag. You're going to need 8 to 10 bags to get that soil level to where you want it. So me, being the penny pincher that I am, was on a quest to figure out things that I could use to put my garden stuff in that wasn't going to leach into my food. And on some of those items, liners became my best friend. I literally just ran out to my shed to get this. This is just your typical plastic container. You can get tons of them at the Dollar Tree. You might even have some already laying around the house. I grew every one of my green bean plants and my lettuce. There was something else I grew. And the bigger ones last year. They'd never seen the actual ground. I grew them in a container. This kind. Again, Dollar Tree, $1. This is my avocado tree. Just use a liner. See that? That's my tomato plant from last year. I brought it in the house in October. See what it's in? Can't point. Here we go. $1 Dollar Tree plastic containers. But one thing that I tried new last year that, honest to Bob, is my favorite of all things: cinder blocks. I wish I would have tried this earlier, but there was this weird confusion about stuff leaching into the soil. Modern day cinder blocks are not made with whatever that was that chemical that was in there. Tomatoes, peppers, peas, squash, cucumbers, zucchini, I already said tomato, spinach. Yeah, cinder blocks. Absolutely, I recommend cinder blocks. It keeps everything neat and organized, and it's easily accessible. Hope that helps. Thanks for your question. Have a great day, micro followers.